All right, as always, on Thursdays during the season, we like to hear how the wise guys are responding to our Tuesday conversation. We are very influential. Lines move based on our conversation. The pros feel compelled to check in and tell us what they're thinking. Simon, let's do sharp calls.
Yeah, pretty interesting week, obviously, because there's only 4 games, so there's going to be a lot of back and forth on guys where they're on different sides, and um, obviously the most contentious, argumentative back and forth game, Ravens Bills. So there's
Oh,
no
yeah.
doubt, got a ton of pushback on that one.
Push
Guys are
back on
just like
you.
us.
Push back on you like in the Bills.
Yeah, guys are just like us, where they dive into the numbers and they see that basically when you boil it down to it, every trend, just about every number on the field is going to back this Ravens team for good reason. Like we already talked about, and we're going to talk about some more. That was definitely the main call I got about they think I'm doing too much emotion here, not going with the numbers, not trusting the numbers. And yeah, that's something, again, we'll talk about. I don't want to give too much away, but
Good.
yeah, I just thought that was interesting that I thought that was going to be a more public side, the Ravens, but there are some really smart professional money on that side. But you saw there's just as much smart money on the Bills side keeping this number where it's at, right? Like a couple offshore books touched 2, immediately took heavy money, went right back down to 1.5. And we've seen here, I don't know if you've seen it in Connecticut, but New Jersey, no book has touched 2 on the Bills. Every book has been 1.5 or
In
1.
fact,
So
and let's save that because that is the end of the show. It's the marquee game. It's at 1 at most books, so it's come down from the 1.5. Like the money is coming back on the Bills, so that is outstanding.
well, I just thought it was an interesting conversation with guys just because I did think it would be a pros versus Joes type of game. And it's like, no, this Ravens team, you do dive into the numbers, you do look at the matchup. There are guys who are just like, no, I'm trusting the trends here, trusting Lamar in this night game. But yeah, can't wait to break that one down even more. A game me and you love, we already knew the professionals on the other side of it. This Detroit, I don't know if Chad loves it, but I love the Commanders. Detroit Lions. This is another professional side. A lot of the pros love the Lions, but there's a decent amount of us that are crazy about this Washington team and throwing money on the Washington money line. Think they're going to pull off the upset. I can't get over how they match up with this team and the fact that, yes, the Lions are going to be able to maybe make them one-sided, take away the run option. That's what I honestly want. I want Janie Daniels to have the ball in his hands at all times. I just think this is the type of game that we could finally see him break off 50 to 60 runs in this game, where it's going to be him picking up a ton of yards with his own legs. So that was another game that was really interesting to me that, I couldn't believe there's pros out there still taking the 9.5 on this Lions team. And it is just, they love this team. They respect this offense, and they think, which most people I think professionally think, that the injuries to this defense have been overrated a little bit. I just think they've been lucky with their competition. Now they're about to face a legit offense. And we've seen when they played legit offenses, they move the ball against them and then it's defense. So that's another one, obviously, that's split. I don't know where you're at with your Eagles love. I'm holding strong with it. I mean, I might have talked to a handful of pros that are like, well, I like the Rams, but I like them at 6.5, and now I'm not going to bet it. So this to me seems like the very public professional side, where the pros and the public are lining up on this Eagles team. And the more info we get on the weather, the more it makes sense to me that it's becoming a really pro public side with this Eagles team, because everyone knows that the LA is a dome team. Now they're coming out east on a short week. So that was definitely a game I thought we would get pushback on. Basically none, Chet. We're basically in line with a lot of professionals on this Eagles side. And yeah, for a game that, not that it's left for dead, but it just seems like no one really cares about it. It feels like, pros are betting Houston Texans here, and it's really just about what we always talk about. The models are going to favor Houston here because it's such a big number, and it's Mahomes as a big favorite, which historically does not cover. But it's not like guys banging the table for this Houston team. I think everyone's just scared, going against the Chiefs in the playoffs. So, like we said, I think most guys agree with it. If this is regular season, of course you would bet Houston here. This is a great number. This is a nice spot, especially with the way their defense matches up. They're great at stopping the run. That's, we know the Chiefs. That's what they want to do here. But yeah, no one planting their flag on this Houston team. So that might be the one blind spot for me this week, is I am really not really giving any respect to Houston at all. I think this is such a Chiefs spot, and the fact that no professionals are really digging their feet in on this Houston side makes me even more confident, where it's like, no, this does feel like the game where we see it time and time again, right? The 1 seed tends to roll the 4 seed or the 5 seed, whoever gets into the come play this matchup. I don't really feel that way with Detroit. With the Chiefs here, like we talked about, now the Chiefs are fully healthy, well rested. This does feel like a spot the Chiefs are going to roll. So, yeah, pretty interesting. The only pushback we had were on sides. We talked totals, heard nothing about our love for the totals. Basically, everyone I talked to loves the unders as well this week. Obviously, we're on the highest over. I don't know if you've come around on that one as well, Chad, but no guys were calling me up saying, you're a psycho for betting this over of the 55. None of that. You guys were like, no, I see it. Like, this could easily be a shootout. And Evan had an amazing trend basically in his article about these high totals. Outdoors, we pick the under. Indoors, that's when they do go over. So, yeah, it's nice to see the trends back up my love for this over, because I do think you're getting still a 1.5 of value here on this total for this Lions and Commanders game.